Hi folks, welcome to the Songwriters Drop-In. My name is John Gallagher. Um, Today um, I wanted to do a video about having a chorus and not being able to find a verse. A friend of mine I was speaking to at the weekend, my friend Kate, hi Kate if you're watching, she just started writing fairly recently, I believe, and I was asking her about if you know how many songs she'd written, and she said she'd written a couple, or she'd written one, and she was part way through of writing another, but was having a problem finding a verse. So I wanted to maybe like shed some light on this, and try and find a few ways in which you can create or find something that you could use as a differentiating. It's a big word for a Wednesday morning. Differentiating section, and um, so it's difficult to do this because I've in some ways, because you have to take yourself back to when you first started writing, in a sense. But then, in a way, I don't know if any of us ever really truly mastered the art of songwriting, because you always feel like you're always doing it for the first time anyway. So maybe it's not so hard after all. I don't know. But I wanted to share a few tips. And incidentally, I started writing an idea just the other day, and I have a chorus for it. Now, what I want to maybe emphasize here is that I'm of the attitude where, personally for me, if I have a section like a chorus and then I try to sit down and I try to define something that is a verse to go with that chorus, um, I will quite often back myself into a corner. And I think with a lot of people, a lot of writers, they can maybe identify with this, that you've got a section, a chorus or a verse, and you want to find either a verse or a chorus or a bridge or something to go with it. Now, how I approach it is I wrote down a few lines the other day, and I could hear them forming themselves as something that could be used as a chorus idea, and I went with it. So I didn't set out to write a chorus, but what I do is I will just free write. So whatever comes, I will just write it down, and the phrasing of this particular idea then suggested itself as being a chorus or something I could use as a chorus. Um, and also, I could sort of part hear a melody in it, because intuitively, instinctually, I could hear that, yes, this excuse me, this kind of works as something that I could use as a chorus. Now, when it comes to writing another section, I will just carry on free writing. So I won't try and sit down and think, I've got to think of a defined verse. But I carried on just kind of writing just freely, just keeping it really, really open. And what I then discovered were that, just like kind of going out and collecting things, like if you were going out collecting sort of um, antiques or going looking for junk, you might find some gems within it that you can use, and the rest you can put off to one side and you can leave. So I'll shed some light on what I have here. This is pretty much near real time, because I just have this one section, or two sections, which kind of, after doing the free writing, the first section was the chorus, or which turned out to be a chorus. So this was the part that came first. I'll just do the words first, because that's the way it came in real time. I didn't have a melody for it, I just had the lyrics for it. So it's called I'm Just Here, or Just Here. And it goes, and I'm just here, 2, 3, watching the moving of the tides. Just here, watching my life move through the times. And I'm just here, when I'm nowhere to be found. Just here, within the chaos and the sound. So I thought, yeah, that kind of forms itself as an idea, and something that can be used as a chorus. So I then just carried on writing and just free wrote, and I wrote, I see the trees outside the house change from green to red. Now, there's a different phraseology compared to what I've just written. So I only discovered this after I'd written it. So I just carried on free writing. I had no preconceived idea of where I was going with this. I just free wrote it. So I see the trees outside the house change from green to red. Within a week I look, I see them changing back again. The phrasing isn't quite right, but it's just an initial idea. I can always alter that later and make it fit properly, some sort of metering. So I'll just reiterate that part again. I see the trees outside the house change from green to red. Within a week I look and I see them changing back again. Some they call it loss, and some they call it love. Does it have to be, or does it really have to be a certain way? I've just changed that now to make it fit the phrasing. So that's as far as I got with that. And then I wrote, and sometimes it's not so loud or clear. You know that you don't go on forever, but when later comes, it holds an unexpected surprise. You can see that some of that doesn't really work, but the object of the exercise is that I just free wrote it, and I was then able to separate the gems from the stuff that I don't want, and use that as my verse. So what you can also do is, now I had, and then 5 minutes after the first part I wrote, I then acquired a melody which I got down on my tape recorder on my phone. And tape recorder, you can see how old I am. It turned out it was in, so I just hummed the melody and the words. When I got back to the house, I didn't have a guitar with me at the time because I was outside, but I then got the recording and listened back to it, and just recorded it purely in the key that I heard it in my head, which you can alter the key later if it's different. But usually, for me, I trust my instinct. So if it comes out in my head like that, the chances are I'm going to be able to sing it. So turns out it's in G sharp or A flat. So I don't think I've ever written anything in A flat before. If I have, then not to my knowledge. So the melody was, and I'm just here, watching the moving of the tides. So then I've got a second chord. So I've got C sharp major. So G sharp major, to C sharp major. And I'm just here, watching the moving of the tides. Just here, watching my life move through the times. Just here, when I'm nowhere to be found. B flat. Nowhere to be found. Minor. So B flat minor. So I'm doing this in real time because I've not done this bit yet. So I can hear, so you've got that. I'm just here, watching the moving of the tides. Just here, watching my life move through the times. I'm just here. Difference in melody, you can change the... When I'm nowhere to be found. Just here. So there I can find I've got a B flat minor 7. So and then within the new section that I got, I can take the same chords which I've kind of gone with. Let me see. A C. So you could lower the octave. You could lower the melody and lower the octave somehow. I see the trees outside the house change from green to red. Within a week I look and see them changing back again. You can leave it suspended on there. Change it back again. Some they call it loss, and some they call it love. Does it have to be a certain way? I need to develop that more, but you get the idea. So what I've done with that is, and what you can do with when you've written these words, see how they phrase. You can change the phrasing so it's different from the verse. Sorry, different from the chorus, as it is here. And there's tricks where you can chop the words down, so that the phrasing is a lot different. I mean, as the phrasing stands with this, I see the trees outside the house change from green to red. You've got something it's different from I'm just here watching the moving of the tides. So go ahead and mess with those, free write, and then go with your instinct. Instinct is I always say songwriting is a very mystical process in some ways, because I don't know for other writers, but I know for a lot of writers that the ideas just sort of appear when you've sort of harnessed an initial idea, and they sort of reveal themselves more than you having to really toil to sort of to make something work. It's a little bit of both somehow. That once a rough kind of an idea kind of comes, or a few ideas, instinctually you'll be able to pick up on those things that you go, yes, I can hear that within the context of what I'm doing. So go away with that And I'm just going to see if there's anything else I kind of wrote down here. So yeah, that's about it. I'm gonna literally leave it there because I don't want to make these videos too long and put too much information in them. But I hope that helps. And if you have any comments or if you have any questions, please leave them below, and I shall answer them. And I hope you get your idea, Kate. I'm sure you will. And for any other writers out there, just keep plugging away at it. You know, the more you do, the more you do of it, the more it becomes a little bit easier on occasions. And on the times when it's not so easy, just kind of leave it down for a little while, and something, I always find that something will reveal itself, you know, when you least expect it sometimes. But keep on jotting those ideas when they come to you, you know, when you receive them. Always keep a tape recorder, a phone handy, or a notepad or something, because I nearly carry either or both with me at all times, because I find that ideas will come like as quickly as quick as lightning. And if you can get them down really quick, then that's part of, that's the biggest, that to me is the biggest part of songwriting. You know, there are other methods of doing it, and people do have different ways of doing it, but that's how I do it. And I can only draw really from my own experience in that way. I'll have another look at different ways of writing, maybe, and just kind of do maybe more research on that. But anyway, I'm rambling, and I'm gonna like get off and drink my tea. And have a really nice day, folks. And please like and subscribe if you care to. Okay, have a really nice day. Cheers. Thank you. Bye bye.